ever felt you were just going round in circles? Bernardo felt like that. Bernardo was making himself dizzy. Fun.
Я пришел, сделал свои грязные дела.
There was something sour in the air. Like the earth had ruptured over something that had been fermenting for a very long time.
Откуда здесь ворона вот вообще, по идее? Здесь быть не должно. Здесь просрал.
If only you had some sort of gun that made portals.
Ай, привет.
There were fewer and fewer trees. There were only these huge crystalline growths. Had those been here before? He no longer heard birds except for the feverish cawing of the ravens when they attacked. He couldn't smell the small animals of the forest, the mice and rabbits. Where had they gone? And he was getting hungry too. This was an unhealthy place to be.
ХП подниму себе.
That could come in handy in a pinch.
Член. Прокачка членов. Мне, кстати, здесь почему-то не показывает, что ты этот. Есть у меня как было 0 человек, так и есть 0 человек. Так, надо сотку забацать. Е, 110. 111. Круто. А это вот этот летает, как его, который подобрали. Яйцерез. Членорез, вернее. Кусок. Вот, собственно, ядро. Как я понял.
The 20-sided core made him feel physically sick. Once he had sneaked into a temple of the dark arts, and he hadn't liked what he smelt and saw there. This felt like that. As quick as he could, he wrangled the icosahedron into the armature. The wheels began to spin, then glow. The sick feeling quickly spun away. Now he only felt sad. He had lost good friends for this war apparatus. Maybe Lapino wasn't such a good friend. Yeah, that made him feel better. He carried his prize back to the Farfarer. Now, he had to make his next move. There was a key Imperial outpost on the Nexus. If this really was some sort of super weapon, he could use it to wreak havoc on the enemy. And if it wasn't, well, better to know that before the final battle. But maybe he should show it to some scientists first. There was an observatory on the Nexus.
Там друзей-то, да.
Maybe he should go there before he fired it.
Так, просить помощи у ученых. Ну там жабы. С жабом... Чё, попробуем сами? Я думаю, надо самим все делать. Потому что жабы это, блядь, жабы. А, знаю, тут можно посмотреть истории, но мы еще пока ничего не знаем ни о ком. Только о зайце. Поэтому давай, наверное, с вами пойдем. Или у жаб что-нибудь спросим. Давай, помогай. Я за то, чтобы самим пойти. Ты за жаб. Окей. Давай, го за жабами. С жабами пойдем.
Well, of course. If you've just assembled a weapon out of legend that can exile gods from the world, you'd want to have a scientist or two look at it. And even if they disagreed and he had time, he could ask Calaveras himself. Yes, the observatory would be his objective.
Жаболис. Лисожаб.
Why had the parts of the Sky Ripper only surfaced now, thousands of years after the Transcendent Emperor had dismantled it? The mad Emperor Isengrim had performed terrible, bloodthirsty rituals to invoke the lost gods. Was that why these ancient artifacts were rising out of the ground? How perfect, then, that the Sky Ripper would reappear to be his destruction.
Движущее, это что
Be
значит?
sure he'd find something useful in one of these things.
Я вот тоже думаю, что они что-то не то, что это жабы, а жабам, блядь, я... Это как жирухам большим таким, доверять, не доверять. Которые в лосиной, знаешь, ходят. Когда она тебе в темном углу говорит, отдай мне литерей. Тут нет ничего интересного. Ага, так. Так, мне сейчас надо отойти, у меня кошка продлевалась. Сейчас прям будет слышно, чтобы не присохло в ковру. движуха. Так интереснее будет, еще он просто не обследован. Ну, да. I'll be back. Я есть здесь. Кот Болевун. Слышала меня? Кошка поблевошка. Так. Я сюда как попал? Я забыл.
He wished there were more pylons he could use the hook on. They really needed to construct additional pylons.
Так. Стоп. А, все. Кошка. О, ну да, вон видно было ее жопку на камере. Больно, забили. Боевка здесь забавная с системой контратак. Ты вообще тут, нет? Я что-то смотрю, у тебя был последний праванпост. Или у меня... Нет. Должен прокручиваться.
A legendary weapon was exactly what the rebellion needed. They were outnumbered. The once kind emperor had become a tyrant. But his ravens stayed loyal, for he fed them his victims, and the other animals were too frightened to rebel. Renato shuddered at what the emperor was trying to do. To bring back the lost gods, the Black Harvest, the Black Sun? No. He would stop that toad, no matter what the risk.
Что-то я не понял, куда я пришел. Где-то я был? Не был.
Why would anyone put his slinky collection in a strongbox, thought Renato. The magic slinkies? Oh, there was something else.
The Nexus Observatory had the Empire's most renowned scientists, working by themselves without interference. At least, so far.
Ну, наконец-то. Можно выкрутить себе надо. Хуй, руды теперь нет. Серьезно. Мне тогда вообще не помогает, он ничего не делает. Он просто летает. Он светится вот так, как будто бы стрелять может. Я думаю...
Renato had always wanted a flying carpet. This was more like a flying tabletop. But it would do.
Стол самолет. Что будет, если активирую? А, вот, круто. Ай, давай. Успел. Еще раз. Еще раз.
Some people were just liable to explode if you upset them.
Что, взорвешься? двери.
Renato felt ready to become faster,
Так, сейчас
stronger,
отвечу, что
bolder.
отсюда пройду и может
If only he could figure out which.
Сейчас закроем эту историю, и я go в Сидж. Че это такое вообще было? Ты спать? Подожди, я не понял, ты так резко. Ты сейчас спать идешь уже? Или
What
чё?
did he craft with the materials he had? Renato had a pretty good idea, actually.
О, мне хватает, бля, верстак ебеня. Окей. Ну смотри, чё, завтра тогда мне делать для Condemned и для Silent Hill завтра? Ну... Как его? Ты понял меня. Комп настраивать?
Renato was thrilled. The scientists seemed to think he'd put the Sky Ripper together right. But one toad was worried.
Yeah, Sky Ripper could tear a hole in existence itself. There are invisible strings that tie the universe together. If Sky Ripper cut one, the hole would widen and widen till our whole existence fell into it.
Another toad sighed.
Oh, Irving still believes in string theory. At least go see Calaveras.
Yeah, said the worried toad.
He knows more than anyone else has forgotten about the Transcendent Emperor.
If anyone could tell him how to use this weapon safely, it would be Calaveras. It was he who had told Renato how to find it in the first place. But maybe he had to give up on using it as a weapon. Maybe he had to go to the secret rebel base and ask the generals there what he could do with a weapon that he dared not use.
Я думаю, за жабой надо идти. Что знать? За жабой идем или... Нахуй кролем пожертвовали. Что делаем? Я думаю, к жабе надо отходить. Верхняя, да.
Well, he should have known he'd have to consult Calaveras again. The scientists at the observatory were smart enough. But what did they know of the Transcendent Emperor? He hoped it wouldn't delay him too long. The rebels had scheduled the final battle soon. Every day they delayed risked the exposure of the secret base. And some soldiers were already drifting back to their homes and families. Calaveras would fix the Sky Ripper for him. And then he would win the final battle.
Что значит починит? Он же и так работает. Ты его правильно собрал. Condemned после 12 вообще без проблем. Так даже интересней. Condemned днем играть вообще не варик. Вот прям.
Maybe it was the cold. But after a few steps, Renato's optimism started to slump. What if Calaveras couldn't help? Did Renato dare use the Sky Ripper? Oh, he
hated that he had chosen this path. It was so much simpler to rescue friends and attack enemies, even if some of those friends were more trouble than his enemies. Some of those enemies had been friends before and might be lovers after. No, okay, it wasn't all that much simpler. No. Physics made his brain hurt. That, at least, he was sure of. If they didn't want their things broken, they really ought to make them stronger.
Ай, сразу со всех сторон надо. Кто-то там летает, кто-то мешает.
He tried to focus on the now. The ravens who seemed everywhere all the time. Where did they hatch from? Were there giant raven hatcheries somewhere, or did they have families? He didn't want to think about raven mummies raising their darling raven chicks. Yeah, Calvaris would help. He would make Renato feel better about using the Sky Ripper. And then Renato wouldn't have to worry about ravens ever again.
Леха, у тебя есть наушники?
He'd once met a pirate captain. He used hooks to get around his ship. What was his name again?
Я тут вытянул. Я них? Них в. Что это значит? А, ты в них! Бля, я тупой вообще. Ну просто, если играть в тандемы завтра я буду, то без наушников там вообще делать нечего. Я просто проходил его без наушников и сразу так понял. Если будет наушники, то даже представить не надо.
Nice chests. He should take one home, he thought.
Блядь, вот эта жаба мудрая живет в самых ебенях. Как, блядь, там можно жить? Причем ворона еще рядом. Хотя я живу в ебенях, и вороны тоже. Все то же самое. Оказывается, личная презентация. А, что я сделал? Не совсем понял. Активировать.
Renato had sacrificed a friend for the Sky Ripper. It would be worth it if he could bring a super weapon to the rebellion. But the scientists had ruined everything.
Почему же испортили? Почему они не испортили? Они вообще ничего не сказали. По сути. Алтай. Окей, алтарь, я даже знаю, что улучшить. Рывок. Вот он, мудрый жаб. Или это не жаба, или это какая-то сова.
Calaveras had never let him down.
Yeah, of course I can make it work better.
But when Renato explained about the strings, Calaveras grew thoughtful.
Oh, strings, you say? Well, the Arcana do speak of the ties that bind the world.
He drew many intricate symbols in the dirt.
Yeah, so, according to my calculations, each time you fire, I'm afraid there's a 1 in 120 chance you'll destroy the universe.
That's pretty good odds. That's like rolling, what, 21 dice and they all come up 6. What are the odds of that?
What? No! It's more like 2.716s in a row.
Anyway, with those odds, it won't happen if I use it just once.
Yeah, no, that's not right. Each time you use it... Okay, look, just don't use it ever.
All right, I guess. As he sailed away from the mountains, Renato could see clouds darkening. Rain? No. Ships. Imperial ships, swarming thick as bees. This was it. The big battle. They could not afford to lose this one. What if it did not go well? What if he had to use the Sky Ripper? Could he gamble the universe? On the other hand, what were the odds of rolling 21 sixes in a row?
Вот сейчас будет движняк. Я чувствую, в конце нужно будет выбрать этой главы. Что будем делать, стрелять или не стрелять? Надо жахнуть, как Пендалев. Жахни, Пендалев. Жахни.
The battle was not going spectacularly well. What had the rebels been thinking? They'd been thinking he would bring the Sky Ripper, or the Iblis Stone, or that he'd sideline Zenobia somehow, or turn her. Couldn't he use the Sky Ripper just once? After all, if chances were 1 in 128, that meant he'd for sure be okay the first time. They'd get worse each time he used it, but the first time would be okay, right? He wasn't sure that it was right. So he didn't fire the Sky Ripper. He just brought it along, in case.
А, вот, на Императоре. Окей. Надо дойти до Императора. Блять, у меня нет нужного меча, серьезно.
That is a very cool sword, thought Renato. No, seriously. He couldn't feel his paw anymore.
А я думаю, здесь особо, ну, получается, выбора нет, только стрелять. Слушай, мне прям интересно, я хочу все эти открыть. Явно платина в том, чтобы вообще все открыть в этой игре. Это мне нравится, это хорошая платина, это не такая задротская хуйня. Тут ты реально узнаешься. Ай, попал, какие. О, супер. Сам охуенный меч. Ну что, это все? Финальная развязка. Угу.
Don't look down, he told himself. Don't look down.
Я сдох. А, контрольная точка, я думал, не будет контрольной точки.
Bernardo felt new powers ready to blossom within him, or something.
Прикольно, замораживаешь, и они потом сразу умирают.
Someone had told him the odds didn't change just because you'd had a streak of good luck. His gut told him that was wrong, though. And he always listened to his gut. On the other hand, 128 chances to win. But one of them would destroy the universe. That seemed a bit serious. Maybe he could defeat the Emperor without firing the Sky Reaper. Maybe he could bluff, but with a real weapon. Like in cards, when you had 3 knaves, but you pretended you had a fizz-bin. That could work. Of all the artisans he was creating employment for, truly, he was a job creator.
Ай-яй-яй, ай-яй. Сука. Блядь. Что-то они лютые становятся под конец. Либо это я это невнимательный. Что взорвёт? Что-то... Зайдём просто. Мне эта херня мешает. Членорез. Я ни хера не вижу из-за него. Как первое прохождение было, тоже все собрал. Сейчас пизда будет императору лягушачьему. По-моему, это лягушка тоже император. Так и сыпется.
He set up the Sky Ripper and let it warm up. He would bluff if he had to. Zenobia came out, flanked by a very daunting platoon of ravens. You won't actually use that, she said in that annoying, I know everything because I'm a cat and you know nothing because you're just a fox voice she had. Or I know the odds. Good. Because there's a real chance you could destroy the universe. No, not the first time I use it. The odds are too low. What? No? Yeah, sure. The first time, the odds are practically nothing. They only go up if I use it a bunch more times. No, but that's not how odds work. Didn't you pay attention in class? Now surrender, or I'll use it. Just once, he said. Don't. He felt sure the odds were with him. You have to go with his gut. That's what heroes do. Fire, he said. Please? The Skyripper fired. With a tremendous whoosh, the Emperor's flagship went up in flames. It was awesome. And then he noticed there was a hole in the air. A blackness, like a tear in a parchment. Wind was blowing into it, widening it. It grew larger, and even larger. Crates fell upwards into it, and the world itself seemed bent, like the reflection on a curved mirror, as it poured into the ravenous hole. Ah, 1 in 128. What are the odds? Thought Reynardo, and then everything fell into the hole and was gone. Reynardo stared at the book. He was still alive. Again. And still only flying away from burning Ubar. Had he lived that adventure? Or only dreamt it? Had he really died? It felt so real, not like a dream at all. And he'd lost again. Oh, he hated that. But he had made different choices. And he'd lost in a different way. It was the book, wasn't it? Oracles showed you your destiny. But this was showing him different ways he could die miserably. Thanks a bunch, book, he thought. But these were destinies that he did not have to fulfill. But he'd learn another true thing. The core was powerful, but dangerous if used improperly.
Круто. Еще одну истину. Прям четко, да? Не нужно было кучу попыток, сразу одну истину открыли. Круто, мне нравится. Осталось еще всего 23, 24. Осталось еще 22 вероятности посмотреть. Сделанные выборы. Класс. То есть, если что-то... Мне нравится. Прям две противоположные, которые следуют зову сердца и которые прям... Класс. Мне нравится. Ну что, Алексей, спокойной ночи тебе желать. Ты идешь спать? Давай, спокойной ночи и тебе сладких снов. Спасибо. В осаде, да, попробую. Ну, пока.